Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother Sid. I have Brother Quran assisting me today. We are the Commandment Keepers Church. We have a detailed broadcast for our brothers and sisters internationally. The title of today's broadcast will be Living in Lawlessness. Living in Lawlessness, brothers and sisters. In today's explosive broadcast, we delve into the shocking reasons behind society's rapid descent into lawlessness. The Bible warns us that as the second coming of Christ nears, we'll witness a world more unruly than ever before. Everywhere we look, a wave of unimaginable debauchery is sweeping through society, brothers and sisters. Today, we'll uncover what the scriptures reveal about the disturbing direction we're headed to as the last days unfold. We're living in an era plagued by unrivaled crime and chaos, an undeniable fact, brothers and sisters. From horrific acts of violence to moral decay, the influence of Satan is evident in society by and large. One shocking story that highlights this is a mother abandoning her newborn at home alone for 10 days while she jet off to Puerto Rico for a vacation filled with partying and fun. This woman was willing to risk her child's life just to indulge herself and enjoy reckless pleasures.
Raw emotion today inside of a Cuyahoga County courtroom. The mother who pled guilty to aggravated murder after leaving her toddler home alone was handed her fate. News 5 anchor Tracy Carlos with the disturbing details. And we do want to warn you here that some of this may not be suitable for young children.
For 10 days last June, Crystal Candelario admitted to leaving her 16-month-old daughter, Jaylene, home alone in a pack and play.
She was a mother. She got a title that means something in this world. Animals take care of their infants better.
Prosecutors say Candelario frolicked on the beaches of Puerto Rico with one man and visited another in Michigan while her daughter died a horrific death at home alone. Police say the 32-year-old mother left the baby with a bottle or two on June 6th. Neighbors' cameras captured her coming home 10 days later. Jaylene was dead. Dr. Elizabeth Mooney is the forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy. She told the judge the baby died from starvation, dehydration, and abandonment. She described the suffering the baby endured lasting days, possibly even a week.
Feeling of abandonment for days on end, coupled with the pain of starvation and extreme thirst, is a type of suffering I don't think any of us could ever fully fathom.
Prosecutors say when Candelaria got home, she changed the baby's clothes that were covered in urine and feces before calling for help. While video captured Candelaria leaving and coming back, the cameras also captured the baby crying alone in the middle of the night. Cleveland police officers who investigated the baby's murder packed the courtroom, they say, to speak for the little girl. The case shook even the most seasoned first responders.
Mothers usually want their children to have a long, happy life, but Candelaria placed more importance on a vacation in Puerto Rico with her boyfriend.
But Candelaria will not see freedom or her 7-year-old daughter anytime soon.
Instead, I see photos of you on a beach while your child was eating her own feces in an attempt to survive.
The judge sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Okay? The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, Living in Lawlessness. Living in lawlessness, brothers and sisters, we're going to show you what a society looks like devoid of God. Okay? Because when I was young, before I found the truth and I dedicated my life to the Most High, I thought that, you know what? I'm not really serving Satan. I'm not really the problem, right? I'm just doing me. I'm just living my life. Okay? I'm not a Satanist. Lo and behold, brothers and sisters, there's only two sides. Christ says it. If you're not with me, you're against me. Okay, and I was flabbergasted to hear that. Okay, and we're going to show you the danger of that attitude. The danger of saying, hey, well, I'm not involved in Freemasonry. I'm not involved in pagan celebrations. I'm not a Satan worshiper. I'm not a Satanist. Okay, I'm not an occultist. Oh, really? Oh, really, brothers and sisters? The title of today's broadcast, Living in Lawlessness. We're at 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. We're in the NLT version of the Bible. This is a prophecy, brothers and sisters. Listen to the Apostle Paul prophesy the last days. Okay? The title of today's broadcast, Living in Lawlessness. Let's take a look, brothers and sisters, please.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times, for people will love only themselves and their money. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents, and ungrateful. They will consider nothing sacred. They will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. They will betray their friend, be reckless, be puffed up with pride, and love pleasure rather than God.
Brothers and sisters, we're living in this time. Okay, we're living in this time, and we're going to take the opportunity to prove it today. Okay, we're going to take the opportunity to prove it today. Let's have Brother Quran read that again, because why? We want that in your conscience. Okay, we're going to set the stage here. We're going to use these 4 verses as a springboard into the rest of the broadcast. Okay, this is what the Apostle Paul said we would see in the last days. Take a gander, my brothers and sisters, please.
Verse 1. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times, for people will love only themselves and their money. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents, and ungrateful. They will consider nothing sacred. They will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. They will betray their friend, be reckless, be puffed up with pride, and love pleasure rather than God.
Aha, the Bible cautions us that as the second coming approaches, society will become intolerably corrupt. Look at that, brothers and sisters. Upon examining these passages carefully, it is prophesied that the world will grow increasingly selfish and unloving. Notice what it says in verse 4. They will betray friends. Okay, they will betray family. That's what we saw. We saw a sister betray her own child. Okay, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. We're in that time. Okay, this teaches us about the perils of neglecting a relationship with the Most High, brothers and sisters. Okay, the Apostle Paul indicates that in the last days, what will happen? What will happen, brothers and sisters? In the last days, there will be what? Perilous periods. The most perilous times in the annals of civilization. And that's a fact that cannot be disputed. We're living in that time. Okay, and we're going to show it today. We're going to prove today that the Bible is right again. Okay, the Bible, you cannot measure any other quote unquote religious records with the Bible, because why? The Bible has prophecy. Yes, you can look at these other religions and find some moral goods. Yeah. Okay, we don't follow the Bible for moral goods. Okay, the Bible has prophecy in it, right? Prophecy that cannot be denied. Most people would think, well, hey, as we become more civilized, right, the earth should become better. Wrong, according to the Bible. Right? As we have more technology, the world should be a better place. Wrong, according to the Bible. See that the Bible provides a clear warning that as the second coming of Christ draws near, society will descend into a state of extreme moral decline, brothers and sisters. These scriptures reveal a prophecy that the world will become characterized by selfishness, greed, and a lack of genuine love for others. We're in that time. Okay, according to the text, the last days are predicted to be some of the most perilous and tumultuous periods in human history, my brothers and sisters. Okay? The scriptures indicate that in the last days, society would undergo unprecedented chaos and lawlessness, making it one of the most dangerous eras in human history. The text suggests that during the last days, we will experience the most lawless era in the history of civilization, a fact that cannot be disputed, brothers and sisters. Many people have overlooked the recent tragedy in which a 17-year-old boy took the lives of his entire family due to a minor disagreement.
I'm not no killer, I'm not no murderer, I'm not no bad person. And a lot of people honestly...
Tonight, Raymond Childs III is maintaining his innocence.
But still, he is going to prison for 360 years for murdering 6 of his family members. These are deadly shootings that happened more than 4 years ago inside the family home that's located here in Indianapolis out on the east side.
Rich Nye takes us into the courtroom to hear from the families destroyed by this mass murder.
Raymond Childs III was just 17 years old in January 2021 when 6 people were shot and killed inside this home on Adams Street. A jury convicted Childs in October of murdering his parents, his 13-year-old sister, his 18-year-old brother, and his brother's 19-year-old almost full-term pregnant girlfriend. A 15-year-old brother who ran out of the house was shot twice but survived.
I cannot comprehend the darkness in your heart at that time that led you to commit such an unfortunate act on January 24th. What I do know is that our lives changed forever on this date, and you robbed us of everything we had.
Childs told the families in a packed courtroom that he is not the killer.
Just as I sit here 4 years ago, I'm innocent. It's not a day that goes by where I don't think about them or wish that they was here. Even on my bad days, I tell myself that they're still here.
The judge called the murders calculated, cunning, and cold-blooded, sending Childs to prison for the rest of his life. So the 360-year prison sentence breaks down like this: 55 years for each of the 6 people murdered, including the unborn baby, and 30 years for the attempted murder of Raymond Childs' 15-year-old brother.
The evidence in this case could fairly be characterized as overwhelming. There was cell phone evidence, he was caught with the murder weapon, and most compellingly, his own brother identified him in open court.
This incident began as a minor disagreement, but escalated into a murder case, brothers and sisters. The Bible indicates that in the final days, we would experience an exceptionally lawless period. We're living in it, brothers and sisters. Okay, due to the influence of pop culture on the youth, we are living in a time that is more corrupt than any era in history. And that is a fact that cannot be disputed. Okay, this young man is now facing the rest of his life behind bars, all because of a simple dispute that spiraled out of control. Think about that. Whenever we look, we are consistently confronted with reports of crime and violence. Let's be honest about this. Let's be honest. Due to the influence of corporate media on the young people, we are living in an era that is more morally corrupt and morally degraded than any previous periods in history, brothers and sisters. Okay, the Bible predicts that in the last days, society would be characterized by an unprecedented level of lawlessness and chaos. See that? This was seemingly a minor disagreement that unexpectedly escalated into a tragic murder case. Okay, the Lord, he prophesies this. He says people will betray them, they will betray their own families. Okay, there will be a loss of love. Okay, the Bible cautions us that now is the moment to seek a relationship with the Most High. Why? Tomorrow's not guaranteed, brothers and sisters. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Okay, the Bible forewarns us that in the last days, we would be living in an era characterized by lawlessness and moral decline. See that? These prophetic words seem more relevant than ever as we witness a world where chaos and corruption have become the norm. Many individuals overlook the reputable softball coach who was recently arrested for the sexual abuse of a minor and possessing child pornography.
And a former softball coach in Baltimore County faces charges of sexual abuse of a minor and child pornography. Fox 45's Keith Daniels went through the charging documents.
And he has more tonight on why parents are calling the allegations disturbing. Keith.
Well, Maxine and Kai, the Baltimore County Police Department's Crimes Against Children unit is working this one. Now, the suspect's name is Michael Pusateri. According to charging documents, he knew the victim's parents, got them a job at his company, and tonight he's accused of sexually abusing the couple's daughter. A Baltimore County softball coach hit with serious allegations. 59-year-old Michael Pusateri arrested by Baltimore County Police, charged with sexually abusing a minor. Pusateri faces several additional charges, including rape and soliciting child pornography. Concerned parents in the area calling the allegations disturbing.
As a parent, that this happened in the first place.
It's super disturbing and it's really worrisome. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, and I'd hate to think of anybody hurting her like that. So it's the trust factor.
Investigators say Pusateri served as a Parkville Recreation Council softball coach. In addition to that coaching role, police say he was a volunteer assistant coach at Kenwood High School and has experience coaching teams in Middle River and the Overly Fullerton area. According to charging documents obtained by Fox 45 News, the allegations originate from a July 25th meeting at Eastern Regional Park in Middle River, where investigators say Pusateri allegedly sexually abused a female player in a car that she had driven to the park. Investigators say he began kissing and touching her. Then both performed sexual acts on each other. Afterward, police say Pusateri returned to his car and the two left separately. Investigators say the girl then contacted police, told them she, quote, felt scared and uncomfortable and didn't know what to do because she was afraid of what his reaction would be. She also said Pusateri reminded her that he was both her coach and her parents' boss. According to charging documents, investigators also found photos of the victim on Pusateri's phone and that he allegedly texted 37 images of his genitals to the victim over a 6-week period. Detectives believe the alleged grooming goes back to March. Now the investigation with vivid details and the allegations against a softball coach.
It's definitely horrible because these are the type of people that you want to trust. You know, you don't know who's who when you put your kids in these programs, and when something like this happens, it definitely wants you to keep your children in the house.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Matthew 24, verse 21 and 22. Why? For those of us familiar with the Bible, Matthew 24 was a prophetic chapter by Christ, right? His disciples requested information about the society, how society would be in the last days. Okay, and Christ gave us some prophecies. Okay, Christ gave us some prophecies that we're going to examine today. We're at Matthew, the 24th chapter. We're going to have Brother Quran read us not only verse 21, but also verse 22. We're in the King James Version of the Bible, and the title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, Living in Lawlessness. Let's take a look.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Aha! Christ indicates that as we draw closer to the second coming, the world will experience rising corruption, which will prompt his swift return. See that? The Bible foretells a considerable moral decline within society that will require God's intervention. Think about that. The text says God will have to intervene. Things will become so bad that God will have to intervene, or his chosen will be destroyed. Why? All of this is to destroy his chosen, right? To destroy Israel in particular. Are other people going to fall by the wayside? Of course. But the lawlessness of society is targeting who? Us. Okay? Because why? Because why? We are the custodians of his word. See that? So they don't want his word to come out. See, Christ teaches that as we near the second coming, the world will face substantial corruption, a situation that will ultimately hasten his return. So we wanted to put it out there. It gets worse. It gets worse, brothers and sisters. How do we know? In this passage, scripture implies a significant rise in immoral conduct, compelling God to accelerate Christ's return. See that? Consider that, brothers and sisters. The Bible has prophesied that mainstream culture will begin to endorse unparalleled levels of immorality influenced by the corporate media. See that? Consider that. According to the passage, the Bible suggests that popular culture is anticipated to play a role in a historic decline in moral standards. Okay, how would morality decline without pop culture, without social media? They would use social media. They would use television, which is tell a lie visually. Right? They tell a lie visually. Satan controls the media. See that? Scriptural passages indicate that the moral degradation of society will intensify to such a degree that God's intervention will become necessary, brothers and sisters. Take that in. Embrace that. Okay, the transformation in societal values is significantly shaped by the influences of corporate media, which plays a vital role in molding the beliefs and behaviors of society. Think about that. Think about that. The Bible predicted that the mainstream media would deliberately advocate for levels of immorality that are unparalleled in human history. As we approach the end times, as the end times unfold, society will observe a notable increase in corruption and moral decay, brothers and sisters. We are currently experiencing the most violent period in the history of civilization, a fact that is indisputable. Many people overlook the Bronx shooting that occurred in broad daylight, where a man was murdered in front of his children.
With that very dramatic and violent video, 2 children somehow avoided getting hit by a hail of bullets when a gunman opened fire at nearly point-blank range.
Now, police just released the video of the incident in the Bronx. Fortunately, the children did not get hurt as they ducked for cover, but a man on the street was not so lucky.
Yeah, no, not at all. And we want to warn you, the full video you're about to show you is extremely graphic. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan is live in Mount Eden. Jim?
Yeah, Sade, this is the summer, this difficult, violent summer in New York that hasn't even started yet. Just in April, right across the street, a man shot and killed. Just today, 15 blocks from here, 2 people shot. But this story is a little different. We have video of this shooting yesterday. We just want to warn you, it is graphic. Veteran police officers had difficulty watching this video. Let's show it to you. These 2 young children in danger as that gunman with wearing all black starts unloading, shooting at the young man wearing the red shirt. But those 2 young children are right there. Obviously, police are trying to identify the gunman, and we showed that video to some people here in the neighborhood today. Scary, right? Those are all little kids.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really scary.
So just tell me about, do you generally feel safe in the neighborhood? Do you feel safe walking around?
After seeing that, no way.
I'm disgusted. I'm going to be honest with you. It's very alarming. Once again, like I was stating before, this seems like it's a gang incident which has been plaguing New York City this year.
We are currently experiencing a period characterized by moral decline, brothers and sisters. In the past, there was a time when violent crimes were not committed in the presence of children. However, that era has long passed. That's clear. Okay. We are in a period where people confidently demonstrate a lack of morality, a reality that is indisputable. Consider that, brothers and sisters. Consider that. Why? A man was murdered in front of his children during daylight hours, and this incident was dismissed by many as commonplace. Okay, due to the societal norms that are now deemed acceptable, we find ourselves in one of the most crime-infested periods in American history. Let's be honest. Okay, as a direct consequence of the social and societal attitudes being tolerated, we find ourselves living in one of the most morally bankrupt eras in the history of America. Right? The prevalence of decline in moral standards and the rise in criminal behavior reflect a society that has strayed far from its ethical foundations. Okay, crime rates have reached unprecedented levels, a reality that is undeniable and supported by countless reports and studies, brothers and sisters. Many people feel unsafe walking the streets because crime rates have reached unprecedented levels. Data indicates that crime is at an all-time high, a fact that is beyond dispute. Many people ignore the Seattle police's announcement about the arrest of 4 teenagers who were linked to as many as 80 violent offenses in a single month.
These suspects are accused of a month-long violent crime spree, and yet investigators say the ringleader thought he would be released from jail by this weekend.
Terrifying crime spree that was brought to an end yesterday.
4 suspects, all teens, accused of 78 cases, including this 7-Eleven robbery in Redmond from a few days ago. A month-long reign of terror targeting gas stations, restaurants, and convenience stores, now at an end.
A high-risk arrest where there were automatic weapons with extended magazines, extremely dangerous people.
Luckily, no one got seriously hurt, as investigators say the suspects became more and more brazen, first targeting empty stores at night, eventually going after businesses during daylight hours, armed with illegal handguns with extended clips and automatic fire switches. These suspects even went after customers.
We still have to deal with the fallout when kids with poor decision-making skills are highly armed and they're literally out of control.
Police say these young and violent criminals are emboldened by a lack of accountability, proven by the shocking conversation investigators had with the ringleader of this gang.
Can I get booked into jail because I'd like to be let out tomorrow? Took me off a little bit, and I said, you are not getting out tomorrow. And he says, if I get booked into jail today, they will let me out tomorrow.
This flagrant disregard for the law is something Seattle Police Chief Sue Rohr says cannot continue.
I think for too long we have been living in the world of either you treat them like children or you treat them like violent criminals. They are both.
And we're learning the ages of all of the suspects in this case. The oldest, 18 years old. There was also 2 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old.
The Bible foretold that in the last days, crime would increase while morality would decline. Okay, we are currently experiencing an era where morality seems to be a fading recollection. Let's talk about it. Why? Our culture has devolved to such an extent that crime has become a way of life that many individuals opt to pursue. Due to the glorification of immorality in the media, this is the lifestyle that a prevalence of people tend to adopt, brothers and sisters. Okay? The Bible forewarned that in the last days there would be a rise in criminal activity and a decline in moral standards. We are experiencing a period where moral values have diminished significantly, almost disappearing from everyday life. Okay, society has become so influenced by corporate media that engaging in criminal behavior has become a common choice for many people. And we're going to talk about it today, brothers and sisters. Follow us to the book of 1 John. Brothers and sisters, follow us to 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 and 16. Why? The Bible warns us of what the culture would look like in the last days. Okay, let's take a look. We're at 1 John chapter 2. We're going to have Brother Quran read us not only verse 15, but also verse 16.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Brothers and sisters, listen to verse 16 again. Why? He's telling us the culture of the world from God's perspective, which is the only perspective that matters. Take a look.
1 John 2 and 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Aha. See that? This passage from the Bible serves as a reminder of what worldly culture truly looks like and how it influences our lives. Think about that. It clearly presents God's perspective on the values and practices prevalent in the world around us, brothers and sisters. Think about that, right? Throughout these scriptures, God issues a warning, urging us not to adopt the perspective of the world. Think about that. See that? This is pop culture, right? This is corporate media. This is corporate television. This is social media. He says, what's in social media? What's in corporate media? The lust of the flesh. That's lust. That's to want everything you see, right? That's what social media does, right? Jealousy, envy. Because why? You're on social media seeing a guy who's got 3 cars, 30-inch rims, stacks of money. You see the girls with the $5,000 Birkin bags, right? The nice cars, the trips to Dubai, right? Then he says, what? The lust of the eyes. The lust of the eyes, right? The pride of life. Pride. See that? You have the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. Because why? On social media, what do you see? It's all lust. Okay, whether it's the lust of the flesh or the lust of the eyes. Okay, the lust of the flesh. Why? You turn on social media and you're seeing naked women all over the place. Okay, you're seeing sisters getting naked all over the place. Okay, the owner, brothers and sisters, from Fans Only made $472 million last year. $472 million, $500 million. And guess who? guess who he is? Guess what persuasion he is? Yeah, Jewish. Okay, now am I trying to slander Jewish people and say, hey, all Jewish people own pornography sites? No, but the top 2, okay? We want to put it out there, brothers and sisters. Fornication has gone up. Fornication has gone up, brothers and sisters, since the advent of the internet, since the advent of social media. And we want to put it out there. Why? The passage warns us against adopting worldly standards, emphasizing that doing so will lead to unfavorable consequences, my brothers and sisters. Right? The Bible clearly states that there is a lifestyle that God disapproves of, highlighting that embracing worldly values will provoke God's anger. See that? See? In these passages, the apostle highlights that there is a way of life that God does not endorse, one rooted in selfishness and superficial pleasure. Open your eyes, brothers and sisters. We're going to put it on the table today because why? Satan wants you to ignore the signs. We are not going to allow you. It is our job at the Commandment Keepers Church, brothers and sisters, to present you with the facts. Because why? We know you're busy. We know some of you are working 60-hour work weeks, right? We know some of you are working and school. We know some of you have children, right? We know some of you are running businesses. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to keep you abreast to what's going on, okay? We're keeping you abreast of what's going on in society. That is our job from this page. Okay, the scriptures warn us that when we begin to embrace the values of the world, God's anger is kindled against us. See that? Today we live in arguably the most selfish era in human history, a reality that is impossible to dispute, brothers and sisters. Mainstream media constantly promotes materialism, reinforcing the idea that acquiring possessions and wealth is the key to happiness. Satan, through corporate media, has influenced society into believing that material pursuits are what truly matter in life. As materialism becomes glorified in popular culture, incidents of theft and violence have become alarmingly common, brothers and sisters. Okay, some people are so desperate to attain the material wealth they see online that they resort to theft and even murder to live the life they believe they deserve. We are currently living in the most materialistic era in recent history, and that is a fact that cannot be disputed. The advertising of materialism in popular culture has led to an alarming increase in robberies. People are prepared to rob and even kill others in pursuit of the lifestyle they believe they're entitled to. Many people overlook the recent event where a teenage girl lured a young man on a date only for her boyfriend to rob and murder him.
Now, 2 young suspects are charged with murder and robbery in a deadly shooting on Indy's north side.
It happened in January. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke to the victims' parents today.
According to court records, the murder, which took place right here on this street behind me, stemmed from a date that turned into a robbery. The victim's family hopes both the 19-year-old woman who's accused of arranging the crime and her 18-year-old boyfriend who allegedly committed the shooting are held accountable for that senseless killing. Jarrell Pryor stayed out of trouble and worked hard raising his daughter Honey until he was set up, ambushed, and shot to death near 49th and Primrose, just north of the state fairgrounds in late January.
I'm broken inside. I'm torn. I'm tore up.
He lost his life for going on a date.
In fact, just a few hours before Tamika and Travis Wiley's son was killed, police believe Pryor messaged this woman, Alexis Hawkins, asking a 3-word question, "When you free?" This affidavit claims that while Hawkins agreed to go on a date with Pryor, she simultaneously began messaging her boyfriend, Brian Winston Jr., arranging to rob the unsuspecting victim.
It was a senseless act, and they didn't get nothing out of it. And they took everything from us. You can't escape this type of pain. You can't. There's no running from it. There's no getting away.
While talking to police, Hawkins allegedly admitted she was at the scene inside the victim's car at the time of the shooting, but denied taking part in the violence. For their part, police insist a series of messages between the 2 suspects ties them to the robbery and murder. Pryor's parents say they celebrated his daughter's 3rd birthday without him just a few weeks ago, and the arrest of the 2 accused killers does not ease the family's pain.
I mean, no justice will it ever cure my broken heart. It's not going to ever bring my baby back.
It really doesn't matter if they spend the rest of their lives in jail. We lost, and we have to deal with this pain every day.
Finally, Hawkins made her initial court hearing last month. Winston has not yet gone to court. Both suspects are being held without bond pending trial.
We are currently living in an era where people will not hesitate to rob or kill you for your possessions. Here are 2 teenagers who are prepared to commit murder over materialistic desires. These two young people will spend the remainder of their natural lives incarcerated due to their embrace of worldly values. God cautioned us that once we allow ourselves to be indoctrinated by societal norms, it leads to a perilous collapse into moral decay. Everywhere we look, we see evidence of theft and violence, all driven by a desire to emulate the luxurious lifestyles showcased on social media platforms. This obsession with material wealth and status has fueled a surge in criminal activity, particularly among the youth, brothers and sisters. Okay, the rate of violent crimes has reached unprecedented levels, a sobering reality that cannot be ignored and should not be dismissed. Okay, a troubling new trend has emerged in the form of organized flash mobs. Groups of 10 to 20 people storm into stores, simultaneously grabbing whatever they can and walking out without paying. These coordinated thefts happen quickly and with little to no resistance, leaving store owners and authorities helpless to prevent or stop them. Organized looting has become a disturbing hallmark of modern criminal behavior in the United States.
And we have a report on a new kind of violence and vandalism, call it a new kind of wilding, spreading across the country this summer. Flash mobs striking in city after city, attackers organizing online and then converging on stores and in streets to rob and terrorize people. What is going on? Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross.
Police described it as 60 seconds of anarchy. A so-called flash mob, more than 24 people, invaded a 7-Eleven convenience store this past weekend in suburban Washington and stole anything they could get their hands on. It is the latest example of what police and retailers around the country say is a growing and troubling trend.
These incidents can turn violent, they can injure customers, they can damage the store, and then there's the financial losses that retailers suffer.
The term flash mob was first used to describe impromptu gatherings of people to sing or dance in public places, all alerted by text or Twitter messages. But using that same technology, it has quickly turned ugly, with flash mob robberies reported in many major cities in the country, including this one in Las Vegas and this one in St. Paul, Minnesota. At the Wisconsin State Fair last week, a flash mob turned into a violent free-for-all with racial overtones.
My mom just got attacked by a flash mob. Punched in the face for no reason.
In Philadelphia, a series of flash mob robberies and street fights led the mayor last week to impose a 9 p.m. curfew on Friday and Saturday nights in downtown areas.
If you want to act like a butthead, your butt is going to get locked up.
But the problem continues to spread. In the flash mob robbery over the weekend in suburban Washington, police say at least 28 different individuals were involved and, if identified, could face felony charges. To make it clear, there is nothing funny or cool about this.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 22 and 23. Why? Brothers and sisters, society as a whole, okay, has gotten out of hand. Why? Because the church, the custodians of God's word, the custodians of the Bible are not aligned with God. Okay, there was a time when the Christian church was respected, okay, and their opinion mattered, their voice mattered, a pastor's voice mattered. Brothers and sisters, take a look around. They claim that America was a Christian country. Yeah, it is. Christians are lawless, right? And now it's spread. See that the lawlessness of the Christian church has now spread to the community surrounding it. See? And we're going to prove that today. We're at Mark chapter 13, verse 22 and 23. We're in the NLT version of the Bible, brothers and sisters. Let's take a gander, please.
The book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 22. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones. Watch out. I've warned you about this ahead of time.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, from the top, please.
For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen one. Watch out. I have warned you about this ahead of time.
Aha! In this passage, the Bible cautions us to exercise great caution when placing our trust in religious leaders. See that the text indicates that we are currently experiencing a period marked by a higher prevalence of corruption in the religious leadership realm than any time in the history of civilization. Okay, the Bible alerts us to the dangers of religious deception within these passages, right? It advises us not to be gullible or easily swayed by religious leaders. Embrace that. Why? According to the text, numerous self-proclaimed religious leaders exploit religion as a means of deception, a reality that is indisputable, brothers and sisters. Okay, the text warns that many religious leaders employ fraudulent miracles to mislead unsuspecting believers. See that? It says they would what? Perform signs. We are currently in an era characterized by unprecedented number of fake miracles throughout the history of civilization, a fact that is undeniable. Okay, many people have overlooked the fact that Prophet K, one of the most renowned African prophets globally, has been repeatedly caught staging miracles. Anyone acquainted with Prophet K understands that he is among the most misleading religious leaders in history. No one fabricates more miracles than Prophet K to encourage people to contribute into his ministry.
Hi, man of God, how are you? My name is Lindana Mkiza from South Africa. I usually see my mom watch Kakande Ministries on YouTube, so I recently just started watching it. The first time I saw it, you were playing soccer with some guys, and I saw them trip. And I was like, Mom, I don't believe what's happening here. And so I said, no, it's fine. Because I do boxing, I'll see if I will fall in front of him. Yeah, so seeing you is
so
just an honor.
you wanted to come here and fall down?
Yeah.
Power of God has touched this brother from South Africa. Behold this power of Jesus Christ.
You want to do boxing?
Watch, brethren. Watch this boxing fight between the brother from South Africa and Prophet Samuel Kakande. The brother is defeated. Prophet Kakande is the winner.
He wanted to do boxing. He wanted to see whether... Look, are you still there? Are you still there? Are you still there?
Defeated.
I'm still there.
Watch this fight between Prophet Kakande and the brother from South Africa. Let the fight begin between the brother from South Africa and Prophet Kakande. The fight is going on. In the ring is the brother from South Africa. Knockout. In the ring is the brother from South Africa and Prophet Kakande. Watch this fight. Hallelujah. Victory belongs to Jesus.
Man of God, I was practicing yesterday with my brother. I was saying, hey, if the man of God gives me a chance, I might knock him out.
Watch what is happening. Who takes the knockout? They are both knocked. Boxing is going on. It's a fight.
The Bible cautioned us that in the last days, countless false religious leaders would emerge. Here it is. This is a professional boxer, so-called professional boxer, who said he trained. He said he trained to come in contact with this particular prophet. Why? He saw this prophet's anointing throwing people down on the ground through his online ministry. And he said, I trained to withstand his power, and I couldn't. Okay? Think about this. This prophet provided financial compensation to this boxer to simulate his anointing. Think about that, brothers and sisters. Prophets are compensating people solely to feign anointing with the intent to mislead believers. Okay, the Bible has alerted us to the religious deception that will occur in the last days. And we want to put it out there. Why? There has never been a period of greater religious deception than the present. And this is a truth that cannot be contested. It cannot be contested through the internet. Okay, because why? Typically, back in the day, in order for you to be deceived, you would need to be there. Okay, in order for you to give them your money, you would have to be in the room. Right? Now they have 45 different ways for you to donate money. Right? The Bible cautioned us that in the last days, there would be numerous false religious leaders who would deceive many. Take a look at that, right? These deceivers would appear as genuine spiritual authorities, but would instead be motivated by personal gain. See? The Bible clearly warned us that in the last days, religious deception would run rampant and many would be led astray. Today, we are witnessing an unprecedented level of religious deception, making it arguably the most deceptive era in human history. Okay? It is not solely the Christian faith, brothers and sisters, that's distorting its religious practices, and we want to put it out there. False leaders exist in every faith, and this is a truth that cannot be refuted, brothers and sisters. We must acknowledge the fact that there are false religious leaders across all religions. The Buddhist faith has been implicated in scandals on numerous occasions, and this is a truth that cannot be denied, brothers and sisters. There have been countless scandals within the Buddhist faith that have been discreetly concealed. Many people fail to recognize that Buddhist monks residing in the temple were subjected to unexpected drug tests only to test positive for methamphetamines.
Tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a story that caught our eye today. It claims a Buddhist temple in Thailand lost its monks after they all tested positive for meth. And it's true. The 4 monks, including an abbot, all tested positive yesterday and were defrocked. They've been transferred to a medical facility for drug rehabilitation. But with the temple empty, nearby villagers are worried they can't do any merit making, which involves worshipers donating food to monks as a good deed. An official in the district says more monks will be sent to the temple to allow the villagers to practice their religious obligations.
Satan has made it his mission to eradicate all theologies and lead people towards atheism in the last days. All faiths, every last religion, are under the influence of Satan, and a growing number of people are becoming aware of this reality, brothers and sisters. Okay, there is not a single religion globally that is free from Satan's control, and this is an undeniable truth. God has never indicated that religion is beneficial for humanity. Religion was established by Satan to divide humanity, brothers and sisters. It was widely recognized that Satan has aimed to dismantle the Christian church and the traditional family unit as a means to undermine society. Okay, when you look at society, there's what? There's 2 things he attacked. He attacked the Christian church, he infiltrated it, and he infiltrated the nuclear family. Okay, many people overlook the fact that the Bible foretold the targeting of the nuclear family by Satan. He knew that in order to get to where we are today, he would need to destroy people's faith, and particularly the Christian faith, the biblical faith, and he would need to destroy the nuclear family. He would need to move fathers out of the homes so he could have access to the children. This was a plan, brothers and sisters, and we are going to prove it. Follow us to the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4. Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, okay, in the Greek. Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 10, why the Bible prophesied the breakdown of the family. Okay, we're at Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 4. We're going to have Brother Quran read us the 10th verse, brothers and sisters. Please.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth.
Aha, be as a father unto who? The fatherless, instead of what? A husband to their mother. The teachings of the Bible underscores the importance of men providing mentorship to young boys. See that? The Bible teaches that every man should take responsibility for at least one child who is not biologically his own. We have to put it out there. Why? This passage clarifies that to be recognized as a child of God, men must be willing to accept responsibility for at least one child who is not biologically related to them. See that? In the Black community, there exists baby mama culture, which is why God commands men to care for the fatherless children as a means of honoring him. See that? See, he says, don't worry about a relationship with their mother, right? Don't do this to get in with the mother, right? Because this happens all the time, right? The little league coach trying to sleep with this young boy's mother, right? So he tries to take on this fatherly role. Why? Because he has his own plans, right? So the Lord warns us of that, right? This particular passage counsels men to provide support and direction to fatherless boys without any ulterior motive of seeking romantic relationship with their mother. And we want to put it out there. Why? The reason many young men in these communities turn to gangs is directly linked to the absence of fathers. Okay, gangs have become a dominant force within Black communities as a reality of what? As a reality of fathers not being there for their children. Because why? Young boys look to be validated by men. Okay? And if that validation comes from me pulling a trigger, then so be it. Young boys want to be validated by men. That's how God made us. And we want to put it out there. Why? Due to the absence of male role models, Black boys are often drawn into the street life. Let's be honest here. In any inner city area, you can observe the lack of mentorship among young Black boys. Gangs have taken over the Black community, a reality that cannot be disputed, brothers and sisters. As fathers have opted not to raise their sons, these young men often turn to gangs. Many have overlooked the emerging trend of smash and grab robberies targeting jewelry stores. We are currently witnessing a situation where 10 to 15 gang members will shatter the glass of a jewelry store and steal tens of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise.
And welcome back on this late Sunday night. A business owner is recovering at home after he was assaulted during a smash and grab robbery.
And as you can see in the security video, more than a dozen thieves ran into Kim Hung Jewelry after ramming a car through the front window of the store. Amanda Harry has the details.
Video captures the moment a Jeep rammed into the front of Kim Hung Jewelry in San Jose. Right after the impact, 3 other cars pull up and about a dozen people get out and run inside.
My heart is pounding. Mad, angry, worried.
That's how the owner's niece felt when she watched back the video. It happened around 2 in the afternoon on Friday. From another angle, you can see her uncle packing up jewelry when the crash happens. Then, the thieves fill the store. One man even pushes the owner.
Slam him down to the floor.
He's 88 years old. He stays on the ground while the thieves rifle through the jewelry cases, then quickly run away. His niece, who did not feel comfortable sharing her name, was at the store minutes after the incident. She says her uncle was bleeding, but seemed okay other than the cuts and bruises. While they were working with police to file the report, she became more concerned.
He started talking to me, just only one sentence. We ready to go home? We ready to go home? We ready to go home? But when I asked him something, he looked at me, but it's not looking. He kind of confused.
She says he couldn't answer any questions, so they called an ambulance to take him to the hospital. Doctors confirmed he had a stroke.
You are very lucky. You bring him to the hospital on time. Otherwise, it will be dead.
He was released from the hospital and is recovering at home. Sunday afternoon, about a dozen community activists were outside of his business calling for change, including the founder of the Coalition for Community Engagement, Edward Escobar.
Small businesses cannot withstand these types of attacks.
Escobar believes crimes against small businesses are all too common, and many are never documented.
And what we're experiencing also is a lack of reporting of crime by business owners, especially small business owners. Why? Because their business insurance may be canceled.
The crimes are costly. The family is expecting the damage to Kim Hung Jewelry to cost the business more than $50,000. Most of the jewelry was already in the safe, but the front of the building was destroyed and is now boarded up. The owner has been in business for more than 40 years, but his niece thinks this may be the end of the road.
Due to the absence of masculine role models in their lives, young men are susceptible to the influence of gang culture. God cautioned us that when young men lack fatherly guidance, they become vulnerable to Satan's influence. Okay, that's why he tells us in Sirach 4:10, be as a father unto the fatherless. Why? There would be many fatherless in the Black community. Okay, 70% of Black children are raised without a father in the house. That is staggering. That is staggering. Brothers and sisters, when we came out of slavery, right, we were better off when we came out of slavery. Why? Over 95% of the children were being raised with their father in the house. Okay, so 20 years after slavery ended, we were in better shape. Okay, the Lord knew that the federal government would incentivize fathers leaving their families by telling these women, hey, let the government be this baby's daddy. We are going to give you food stamps. Right? He's not making enough to be able to bring in what we're going to give you in food stamps. We're going to give you $1,000 in food stamps. He's only making $500 a month. Right? So it's best for you and the baby to move him out. See that? And this is what happened. The welfare state. Okay, we are currently experiencing an era characterized by lawlessness, a reality that is undeniable. Today, we're living in a time marked by widespread lawlessness and moral decline, a reality that cannot be ignored, brothers and sisters. As social media glorifies materialism, young people are increasingly inclined to commit theft to obtain their desires. Throughout the United States, the trend of smash and grab thefts have gained popularity. Each time we watch television, we witness yet another jewelry store heist carried out by gang members.
4 people are behind bars accused of crashing a car into a Modesto jewelry store before robbing it in broad daylight.
And tonight, the search is on for more than a dozen suspects in the case. Modesto police are now saying the same group is linked to similar robberies from the Bay Area to Beverly Hills.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has the details.
It all started with this crash Sunday afternoon. And within just 60 seconds, more than 20 masked robbers run into and out of Side Jewelers off Sisk Road, some with hammers in hand, one suspect slipping on a shard of glass on the way in. Another commanding the criminals to work faster. Getaway cars waiting for the group eventually speed off, police only able to stop one of them.
Is that many people?
We showed the video to Rajesh Singh.
This is not safe to the community at all. This is really, really bad and ridiculous.
He and his wife were hoping to get their jewelry fixed Monday, but instead walked up to boarded windows.
It's not really helpful to the business guys. So I don't know how long they will be closing down, and they will be losing their business for certain days or time, whatever time it will be closed.
From broken glass on the ground to skid marks, the damage here is still fresh. It's also shockingly similar to another day-lit jewelry store heist in Tracy 2 weeks ago. Modesto police now linking the same robbery crew to similar cases in Oakland, Alameda County, and Beverly Hills.
This is very, very embarrassing, and it's not safe to the public, and not safe to the people who are working inside the store. And even if there was people in surrounding, that could have been in danger too.
No injuries were reported, but for employees and customers, their sense of safety was shattered Sunday in just seconds.
That's very dangerous. They can do this anywhere, even in anybody's house. It's not good at all, and it's not safe.
In Modesto, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Very alarming. Gabriel, thank you. The suspects range in age from 19 to 24. Modesto police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
When young men lack fatherly guidance, they are easily influenced by gangs. Okay, God cautioned us regarding the perils of disassembling the nuclear family. It is undeniable. It is an undeniable fact that Satan has targeted the nuclear family, the black family in particular. Okay, Satan understood that by removing men from their households and permitting women to raise the children, it would lead to catastrophic consequences. Okay, he would put the entire burden on the woman, knowing she's the weaker vessel. Okay, and we're not here to condemn sisters, because why? Sisters do the best they can, but discipline, according to the Bible, is supposed to come from a man. Okay, and we want to put it out there. Why? The young brothers that you're seeing breaking into these stores, 99% chance they're fatherless. Okay, they were raised in a home where there was no man. And brothers and sisters, look at the statistics. Okay, look at the statistics of typically when a mother's raising her children alone, they're in poverty. They're impoverished. Okay, that's why all these single mothers are raising these boys that end up in prison. It's not because there's just no man there. It's because they're growing up in poverty. Look at the statistics. Look at the income. When you have two incomes into the house, right? A father and a mother into the house, right? Because why? When you are in poverty, you're more likely to commit crimes. You're more likely to join gangs. And see, this is what Satan understood. This is what he understood. Okay, it's not because we're black that we're committing crimes. Most of it, the reason we're joining gangs and committing crimes is because why? There's no man to instill fear in us. We don't fear our mothers. Maybe to an extent at a certain age, but at a certain age, as a man, as a young man, you know, my mom can't hurt me. My mom can't hurt me. Right? And once that fear goes away, see that? So we want to put it out there. The Lord knew in Sirach chapter 4, verse 10, that he wanted believers, he wanted men of God to be mentors to young brothers who don't have a father. involved in their life. Okay? And we just wanted to show you, in order to get to a society like we're in today, you would have to remove the man out of the home. That's how influential the man is. Don't let anyone tell you, brothers, that you have no value. Okay? Because why? You have great influence, especially in your children's lives. And we're going to talk about that today. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 22. Brothers and sisters, follows to the book of Proverbs, the 22nd chapter and the 15th verse. We're in the NLT version of the Bible. The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, Living in Lawlessness. We're living in the most chaotic time in the history of civilization. And this was orchestrated, brothers and sisters. Okay? It's time to stop straddling the fence, brothers and sisters. Okay? Look at the end result of straddling the fence. Look at the end result of a society that diminishes the importance of God. Wake up. Okay? Wake up, brothers and sisters. This is what happens when you take God out of society, when you take God out of school, when you take God out of entertainment. God is not in entertainment. What shows are on TV? What popular shows on Netflix other than The Chosen or some show? When you turn on ABC, when you turn on Fox, when you turn on all these channels, there is zero about God. What music are you hearing on the radio about God? This is what happens when you take God out of school. What kids are going to public school, state-sponsored schools, learning about God at all? They will learn about Buddha before they learn about the God of the Bible. Open your eyes. Society is this way because we've taken God out of it. Okay? And we want to confront you with the facts, brothers and sisters. Okay? We're going to show you why society would have to destroy the nuclear family first before getting to where it is today. See, Satan is very clever. He's very patient. And he used the federal government to do this. He's very patient. He knows it takes generations to get to where we are today. This doesn't happen in 5 years. This doesn't happen in 10 years. This happens over 60 years. See that? Let us show you the importance of men in the home of their children. We're at Proverbs 22, verse 15. Let's take a gander, brothers and sisters. Please.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 15. A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away.
See that? The Bible indicates that children will inevitably err, which is why it's necessary for fathers to be present. Okay, there is no child that doesn't need discipline. Okay, I don't care how good you think your kid is. Right? The scripture asserts that there is no child who is free from wrongdoing at times. Let's be honest. Why? According to this passage, every child requires a father's discipline. There's not one scripture in the Bible about a woman disciplining children. That is not her role. So when she's forced into that role, it's hard for a woman to be a disciplinarian. Why? She's a nurturer. Okay, she's a nurturer. It's hard to carry a child in your womb for 9 months, breastfeed it, get up every hour when the baby cries and needs to be changed, right? And then to become a disciplinarian. It's hard to make that metamorphosis. Okay, Satan recognized the significance of this scripture, which is why he aimed to undermine the nuclear family. Every child needs physical discipline. Okay, and I would suggest I stop disciplining my children at 12 physically. Because why? At that point, if you haven't steered them in the right direction by 12 years old, you're not going to steer them in the right direction. Okay. Okay, so and you do whatever you want as parents, but I would suggest, right, physical discipline all the way up to 12 years old. Because why? Now they're going into teenage years. If what you've done the first 12 years of their life has not worked, then what you're going to do going forward will not work. Okay? So when children are not being disciplined from, 2 to 12, there's a big problem. Okay, there's a big problem because why? Children need to know someone is paying attention. Okay? Yes, a child, nobody wants to get in trouble, but they also recognize as they get older, nobody's paying attention. Nobody cares enough to discipline me. Right? In the absence of a father to provide discipline, Satan assumes control over guidance of the children. According to biblical teachings, it is not the role of a mother to discipline children, a fact that is indisputable. Right? It is the duty of a man to manage the discipline of children, a truth that Satan is well aware of. And that's why he moved him out. That's why he moved him out. The prisons are filled with men who were raised by their mothers, who have no emotional control. Why? Because they grew up with their mama. Mama's emotional. Okay? And so this man, who's now a man, has grown up being emotional because that's all he saw. That's all he saw. Right? When a woman handles, confrontation, she's yelling, she's screaming. I mean, think about it, brothers and sisters. Think about how often your mom screamed at you. Right? I grew up with my mom, so I know. I was more likely to get screamed at and yelled at, something thrown at me by my mom than my dad. Because why? Men control their emotions. Women do not. Okay, and a lot of these young brothers, because they can't control their emotions, what do? They go get a gun and handle it that way. They go get a knife and handle it that way. They go and join a gang and handle it that way. Because why? They never had a man love them. They never had a man show them affection. Many of these brothers have never heard their father tell them, son, I love you. Son, I'm proud of you. This affects the psychology, the psyche of these brothers. Okay, the absence of fathers in the home results in a lack of discipline for children, a reality that cannot be contested. Okay, I remember years ago, I told my wife when we were moving, I wanted to live in a place that didn't have a lot of single mothers. I don't want to live around a bunch of single mothers because why? And it's no shade to sisters because I was raised by my mom, but typically in those areas, the children are unsupervised. Because why? Mom is working all day, all night, probably 2 jobs because there's only one income in the house. You have children outside late at night. You have loud music blaring late at night. You have people on the corner smoking reefer. I grew up in those communities. Okay, as an adult raising my children, I don't want to be around there. I don't want to be hearing gunshots. Typically, where the neighborhoods are filled with single mothers, that's what you get. So I told my wife, hey, I'm willing to pay more to avoid that. Okay, and that's no shade to sisters. Okay, I give honor to a lot of sisters. I hold men mostly accountable for this. Okay, when children are unfamiliar with the love and discipline of a father, they tend to misbehave. Okay, without the fear of a father's discipline, children often make poor choices due to the lack of concern for the repercussions. Let's talk about it. Many fail to acknowledge the tragic incident involving 2 young girls who surfed on top of a train in New York and were subsequently thrown off, resulting in their deaths. These 2 young girls believed that train surfing was a brilliant idea, a decision that ultimately cost them their lives.
Breaking news we are following right now. An investigation is underway at this hour into a possible subway surfing incident that police sources tell Fox 5 took the lives of 2 teenage girls. Our Jessica Formoso is at the scene at the Marcy Avenue subway station in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, with the latest.
Arthur, people here in Williamsburg are saddened but also upset to hear that teenagers are risking their lives in this way. Authorities tell us that early this morning, 2 teenage girls were found dead in what apparently was an incident of subway surfing. Police say just after 3 a.m., 2 girls were found dead on top of a J train here at the Marcy Avenue stop in Brooklyn. According to authorities, last year, 6 people died subway surfing. The NYPD has reported that arrests of alleged subway surfers rose to 229 last year, up from 135 the year before. The New York City Transit president putting out this statement. It's heartbreaking that 2 young girls are gone because they somehow thought riding outside a subway train was an acceptable game. Parents, teachers, and friends need to be clear with loved ones. Getting on top of a subway car isn't surfing, it's suicide.
I feel sad. I'm sorry that I cried, bro.
No,
That's the truth.
I see that you're getting emotional.
Yeah, I don't like it. Because the young generation guy died for nothing.
Surfing on a train, there's two things you're gonna do on surfing on a train. You get away with it maybe today, tomorrow, but you're definitely going to die.
I have a daughter, so now I'm like, now it makes me want to go talk to my daughter because I didn't know about it, you know. It doesn't strike me as somebody that would do it, but it's something to like, wow, that's kind of like, that's crazy.
The identities of the 2 girls have yet to be released. The NYPD says it is awaiting the results of the autopsy. In Williamsburg, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
It is nearly 100% guaranteed that these girls were raised by single mothers. It is not the responsibility of a mother to raise children single-handedly. Okay? And what happens? These young brothers, usually, that grow up with single mothers, right? These young sisters, what happens? Because they've never seen their mother respect a man, submit to a man, it makes it very hard for these young girls to respect men. So they end up having babies by 3 and 4 different men because why? They've never seen their mother play the role of a wife, submissive. And what happens with the brothers? Because the brother is accustomed to seeing his mom carry all the weight, these young brothers grow up and look for another mother. Right? They get with a woman and expect her to do everything. Take out the trash, iron the clothes, pay the bills, do the cooking, do the cleaning. And sisters are wondering, why? Why is this? Why is he acting like a teenager? Because he's accustomed to seeing women do everything. That's how he grew up. Okay, he thinks women are so strong. Well, my mama did it. My mama paid all the bills and cooked and cleaned and took out the trash. Why can't you? See, this is what happens. So sisters have to recognize this. Brothers also, when you're looking for a companion, when you're looking for a spouse, be cognizant of how important it is for someone that had grown up in a dual parented house. Am I saying that every sister who grew up without a father is a bad sister? No. But understand it's going to take more time and effort to get her to be a little bit softer, to be a little bit more feminine, because why? She's had to protect herself. Okay? And naturally, when you have to fend for yourself, you're a little bit rougher. Right? So I tell my brothers this. Right? Because why? As a man, you should go to her father anyway. That's who you should actually go to ask for her hand in marriage. Right? And vice versa. Sister, if you getting with a brother who never met his father, never spent any time with male role models, understand he may be a little bit slower. You're going to have to be patient with this brother. Okay? And we have to put it out there. These 2 sisters that thought it was appropriate to train surf. Train surfing is when you run on top of moving trains. Like the game? Yes. These teenagers. Okay? Why? Why? Brothers and sisters, I'm going to put it like this. A mother is unable to instill fear in her children in the same manner as a father. And this is an undeniable truth. Right? They did a study on how a baby responds, young children, toddlers, responds to a man's voice and to a woman's voice. It's a completely different response at a young age. At a young age, they studied the brain waves of toddlers. When mom says something and when dad says something, something like sparks off in their brain. It's in the voice of a man. It's in how God made his voice. Okay, there's science to this. And guess what? We're not condemning our sisters because they're doing their utmost. Okay, rather, we hold fathers responsible for their lack of involvement in raising their children. Men give up too easily. We give up too easily, right? We get a difficult child's mother and we just give up. We don't fight nearly as hard enough. Okay, the absence of fathers in their children's lives leads to negative outcomes. Okay, according to the Bible, a woman is not intended to bear the sole responsibility of raising children.
Well, tonight, a community is in shock after a mother allegedly shot her 4 children. 2 of them were killed. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman is live in Porter, where detectives and neighbors are trying to make sense of this tragedy. Jillian.
Yes, this is a devastating case. A mother is accused of shooting her 4 kids, killing 2 of them. We learned that the family lived in this home behind me here in Porter. A neighbor said she saw deputies and detectives investigating here over the weekend and said this is just heartbreaking.
I try to wrap my mind around why a mom would do that. I don't understand it. And we need to pray for those 2 kids because they're going to need support. And then the 2 kids that were killed, you got to pray for their souls because I don't understand it.
Right now, 31-year-old Onita Lawless is facing murder charges. The Brazoria County Sheriff's Office says just before 5 p.m. Saturday, Lawless called 911 from a Shell gas station in Angleton and said to come to her location. Now, when deputies arrived, they found 4 children shot inside the car. Her 13-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter died. Her 8-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter were life-flighted to a local hospital and are in stable condition. Authorities called this a senseless tragedy. Investigators believe the shooting happened inside the car, but are still working to determine exactly where it happened. Now, according to court documents, we learned some disturbing details. When the mother was being questioned by authorities, she said her children were dead to her and they were with the devil.
Okay, when a woman is forced to shoulder the burden of raising children alone, it has a profoundly detrimental effect on her well-being. A woman is incapable. She's incapable of effectively disciplining her teenage children. And this is a fact that cannot be disputed. Many have overlooked the tragic incident in which a mother shot and killed her 13-year-old son following an animated disagreement.
And breaking tonight, police say a mother is accused of shooting her 13-year-old son during an argument that quickly escalated.
Deputies say it happened at a home on Ranch Oak Drive near the Hardy Toll Road in Bush Airport. That's where we find ABC 13's Luke Jones live. Luke, what's the latest on this?
So we're told the child is at the hospital in stable condition after suffering a single gunshot wound. As for his mother, we can roll that tape. She was actually taken into custody around 8 o'clock tonight. That shooting happening at the family home on Ranch Oak Drive hours earlier. So here's what happened. According to Precinct 4, they say around 5:30 they got a call saying that the mom and the son were fighting each other at the home in the presence of other family members. As they were headed over to the house to deal with that, they get a second call, this one, informing them someone had been shot.
It's just going to be mom and her 13-year-old son that were pretty much, it led to a fight. It led to a verbal disturbance, and ultimately it led her to firing her handgun and striking the child.
Precinct 4 confirms tonight the 13-year-old child was not armed himself. They do say the mom is going to be charged with aggravated assault on a family member. They tell us right now the district attorney's office has already accepted that charge. They also tell us there's a history here at the house. Other calls for service involving the mother and the son. So a long track record of disturbances that culminated tonight in a 13-year-old being shot.
This mother believed that the sole method to instill fear in her son was through the use of a weapon. Had there been a father present in the household, she would not have needed to resort to a weapon to discipline her son. Okay? Satan deliberately eliminates fathers from the home to facilitate a lawless society. Let's be honest about this. Let's pull back the curtains. We are experiencing the most lawless era in the annals of civilization because the majority of children are not being brought up alongside their fathers. And that cannot be disputed. Now, are we saying that, hey, if you're raised in a 2-parent household, you automatically become good? No, but you have a better chance. You have a better chance because why? You have the duplicity, right? You see masculinity in the house, and then you see the nurturing, you see the femininity in the house, right? It's balanced. There's a reason why God says, hey, it takes a man and a woman to create a child, because he understands what it takes to raise a child. Okay? It takes femininity and nurturing in the beginning, right? You need your mother to nurture you, right? And then as you get older, you need your father, right? To give you tough love, to discipline you. You need that, boy or girl. There's a reason why God made it so. If children could be raised just as well with just one parent, it wouldn't take two to create them. See that? So we want to just show you why Satan attacked the nuclear family. Because why? Everything we see, the criminality, the chaos that we see starts where? At home. If every child was raised at home with a mom and dad, society would be 90% better. Would it be perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. But it would be much better. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would be better. And Satan knows that. Okay, anytime I see a television show with a single mother, I cut it off. I don't want to watch this garbage. Every time. Because why? Most of the black shows, there's no father. Okay, it's always some single mother carrying the burden. I don't want to see this indoctrination. My wife knows. Cut it off. I don't want to see it. I'm not going to be entertained by watching women shouldering the burden of being a mom and a dad. I'm not entertained by that. I'm disgusted by it. Okay, if I see a commercial, okay, if I see a commercial with a single mom, I'm cutting it off. I don't want to see it. It makes me sick that this is what they want to promote. This is what they want to be seen in the black community. Because why? Most of the white entertainment, there's two parents there, right? All the shows catering to black men and women and children, it's a mom raising a child alone. It's psychology, right? They want women to believe you can do it alone. Can they do it alone? Yeah. Not as well. Not as well. Okay. Not as well. And we want to put it out there. Pay attention to the media. Pay attention, brothers and sisters, to the entertainment that's promoted. I'm just speaking in the black community because I'm from the black community. Okay. And we're struggling with the nuclear family in the black community. They need to incentivize marriage again. They need to incentivize marriage. Because why? If they incentivized marriage, right, they would be promoting marriage again. They haven't incentivized marriage. In fact, they don't want people to get married. They've set it up where it's unbalanced. This was intentional. Okay? So guess what? Now that the children only have mom or just dad, what happens? What is the next era to get to them? The schools. It's the school. See, so the first thing Satan wanted to do is remove the man, right? Why? So mom can work late hours, long hours, and she's tired when she comes home. She's tired. She doesn't know what's going on at school because why? She's tired. She's doing the work of two parents, right? And now Satan creeps in. Now Satan creeps in the academia. Brothers and sisters, jump up to verse 6. We're in Proverbs 22 and 6. Let's take a look.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Brothers and sisters, the passage indicates that the education children receive during their formative years significantly influences their perspective on life. See that? This passage highlights the necessity for parents to acknowledge how certain influences can mold their children's growth into adulthood. Examine that. The passage emphasizes the lasting effects of a child's upbringing. Right? The author points out that children will inevitably learn from someone, and for their well-being, it's essential for both parents to offer that guidance. Okay, the Bible cautions us regarding the environment in which we permit our children to be educated. Who's doing the training? Who's doing the training, brothers and sisters? Right? We're currently in an era where schools predominantly handle the education of children, a reality that is indisputable. Right? The majority of children spend more time at school with their educators than they do at home with their families. Okay, children are in the company of teachers more often than they are with their parents, a fact that cannot be contested. Okay, in this text, the Lord cautions us about the surrounding in which our children are raised. The Lord alerts us to the risk associated with allowing schools to become the primary influences of our children. Remember, many parents expressed outrage when an LGBT teacher compelled a student to paint his nails due to his disagreement with the LGBT agenda.
All right, man, I heard what you said today to Blake. You called him gay for painting his nails?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay, dude, that is not it. So 2 things are gonna happen. First, you're gonna apologize. Second, I'm gonna give you 2 choices. First, you can write a 300-word essay about how you shouldn't judge people based on what they look like. Or you can paint your nails.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you just gotta paint one of them. Just gotta paint one of them. What's it gonna be?
I mean, like, I'll take the nail polish then.
All right. Dude, you're pretty good at that. Like, are you sure you've never done that before?
No.
You've never painted your nails?
No, mister.
Okay, well, do you feel any different?
No, I guess.
No? You don't feel any different?
Nah.
You mean you ain't gay now?
There exists a homosexual agenda manifesting in public schools. And this fact is undeniable, brothers and sisters. Children are being indoctrinated against their will within state-sponsored educational institutions. If you hold religious beliefs, you may want to contemplate withdrawing your children from these state-sponsored schools. Why? It is a verifiable fact that children are being terrorized by teachers in these schools, brothers and sisters. We question the prevalence of school shootings. The answer lies in our failure to recognize the realities occurring within these educational environments. Okay, the LGBT agenda is being actively promoted to children in every public school, and this is an indisputable fact. Okay, we ponder why children exhibit such anger in modern society. It is a direct result of the ideologies being propagated in schools. Many parents fail to acknowledge why a 13-year-old boy who had planned a school shooting was discovered with 20 firearms in his home.
To Washington now, where police say they seized 23 guns from the home of a 13-year-old who appeared to be fixated on school shooters. Police arrested the teen after finding some disturbing social media posts. Yesterday, he pleaded not guilty to charges of unlawful firearms possession and making a threat. Let's go to CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez covering the story for us. Andres, what did deputies find and why did they act so quickly?
Well, Elizabeth, a possible tragedy was averted all because someone saw something and said something. Let's take you back to Friday. That's when Pierce County Sheriff deputies received a tip that a 13-year-old was online making threats that he had guns. About 12 hours later at 1 a.m. Saturday, SWAT members showed up to the kid's house in Parkland, Washington. Inside, deputies found 23 weapons. You could see them right there on your screen. 8 handguns, 2 shotguns, and the the rest of them semi-automatic rifles. Some of them were in a safe, but many, according to authorities, were out in the open, mounted on walls or left around the house. As you can imagine, there were also several boxes of ammo. And here is the disturbing bit. They also found loaded magazines inscribed with references to the Columbine massacre on them. This was allegedly found inside the teen's go bag. Investigators say the teen had also posted photos of himself holding guns online and posted on Telegram, quote, "When I turn 21, I'm going to kill people." He was also fixated on attacks like the 2017 Charleston church shooting and the 2022 school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Deputies believed it was only a matter of time unless they intervened.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. We're going to have Brother Quran read us the 12th and 13th verse. All right, the title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, Living in Lawlessness. Living in Lawlessness, brothers and sisters. We're at 2 Timothy chapter 3. Let's take a look.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. Yeah, and all that will live godly in Christ shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
Yeah, and all that will live godly in Christ shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
The passage emphasizes that rejection is a crucial element in the pursuit of a virtuous life. The Bible cautions that following Christ requires the bravery to understand and be okay with disapproval from others. See that? If you run around trying to gain everyone's approval, this is not the life for you. The Bible instructs us that all people who emulate Christ's teachings and lead an ethical life will face persecution. The text indicates that believers ought to expect opposition and mistreatment due to their beliefs, brothers and sisters. Okay? According to the Bible, opposition is depicted as a core component of being a genuine follower of Christ. The text states that as the second coming of Christ draws near, there will be a rise in immorality and intensified persecution for those who maintain moral standards. These passages suggest that children aspiring to adhere to biblical principles will face ridicule from mainstream culture. Okay, any child wishing to adopt a Christ-like lifestyle will encounter mockery and derision through popular culture, and that's a fact that cannot be denied. Okay, the corporate media in general is attempting to indoctrinate children into accepting lifestyles that provoke God's anger. Okay, everywhere we look, we observe Satan's efforts to indoctrinate children into embracing lifestyles associated with the Rainbow Mafia. Many parents have overlooked the fact that popular Netflix children's show CoComelon has promoted same-sex marriage in several of its episodes.
Something that we know about you, you love to get up and dance. How about you break out those moves for your two biggest fans? When you're trying to decide, think about all the things you like to do. Just be you.
Just be me.
Just be you.
Look, our family picture's on the wall.
Netflix aims to advocate for the rainbow lifestyle among children, and this is an undeniable fact, brothers and sisters. Children ought not to have unsupervised access to Netflix. Okay? The mere fact that a show is animated does not justify allowing your children to view it. Satan is aware that most parents are trusting, and he attempts to indoctrinate the children through animated television programs. It's called a program for a reason. Okay? There has been significant moral decline endorsed by animated shows. And this is a fact that cannot be contested. Many parents have overlooked the Netflix series Dead End. Paranormal Park also endorses the transgender lifestyle.
It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier, and that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminded me how important it is to live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living here a shot, don't you?
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. We're going to have Brother Quran read verse 29 and 30. Why? Verse 29 and 30 references the return of Christ. Okay, we want to take a look at that. Because why? We're in the last days. We are in the last days. The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, Living in Lawlessness. Living in Lawlessness. We're at Matthew 24, verse 29 and 30. Let's take a gander, brothers and sisters, please.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Brothers and sisters, notice the Bible says that Christ comes after tribulation. See that in verse 29, it says immediately after the tribulation. Brothers and sisters, this is tribulation. We're living in it. It's hard for me to understand how Christians could be living and think that this isn't tribulation, that tribulation is actually something that comes later on. Hold on, man. Open your eyes. And this is the problem I have with Christians. Okay, you have men wearing women's clothing. You have men in women's sports. You have children changing their gender. Think about all of what's going on, and you think that's not tribulation? Come on, man. Open your eyes, Christians. Okay, and then look at verse 30. Verse 30 is the global response to Christ's return. Read that one more time, brothers and sisters. Matthew 24 and 30.
Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
See that? Christians hold the belief that the earth will celebrate when Christ returns. Yet the text conveys a different narrative, right? The Bible suggests that Christ will be displeased with the state of the world upon his arrival. While Christians expect joy on earth at Christ's return, the text offers a contrasting narrative. Right? The Bible informs us that Christ will be angry regarding the condition of the world when he returns. Think about that. A thorough examination of these verses indicate that the majority of people on earth do not eagerly await Christ's return. Upon careful analysis of Christ's second coming, it becomes clear that a large segment of humanity is neither actively anticipating nor prepared for this occurrence, brothers and sisters. We are currently experiencing the most corrupt period in human history, which explains why many individuals are not looking forward to Christ's return. We are in the most homosexual era ever recorded, and this is not coincidental. Many have overlooked the case of 3 men in a polyamorous relationship were just approved in Canada to adopt a child. 3 men in a romantic relationship have now all become fathers to an adopted child.
For the last 7 years, Jonathan Bédard, Eric Leblanc, and Justin Maheu have been waiting to become parents together, something that officially happened yesterday.
She's perfect, of course. Like any, she's curious, she's energetic, she loves to play, she loves to jump, she loves to dance.
They adopted their 3-year-old through Quebec's Youth Protection Services, but first had to be approved as foster parents, something that required a lot of work and openness, they say, to their relationship.
We had a lot of things to go through in order to be able to have that accreditation, and it's through that process that they learned that we are a little different because we're 3, but we're not different from any other family.
Some other Canadian provinces, including Ontario and British Columbia, legally recognize more than 2 parents. Quebec does not. Last April, a Quebec Superior Court judge ruled the government has a year to modify the civil code to allow a child to have more than 2 recognized parents, saying the current situation is unconstitutional and violates the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms since it discriminates against different family models. Quebec is appealing the decision. The Justice Ministry declined our request for an interview, saying they won't comment since the matter is in court.
We think that either way it might go all the way to the Supreme Court, but we're saddened from the fact that we're not backed by our own government, which is supposed to be an open government that wants to help every single family.
While the law doesn't recognize all 3 as parents, they say they're sharing the responsibilities equally and doing whatever they can to create a stable home and secure future for their daughter.
We talk about what come up if we split up or if someone dies and stuff like that. We do anticipate those things because we have to, because we're not protected if it doesn't.
And after what it has taken to get here, they're enjoying this moment.
We are lucky to be 3 to give her all that support, but I think we're the lucky ones to have her in our life.
These 3 men are currently engaged in a legal battle with the federal government to have all 3 recognized as fathers on the birth certificate. Homosexual couples should not be permitted to adopt children, brothers and sisters. If individuals are unable to conceive children, they should not have the right to adopt. Okay, these 3 homosexual men are going to destroy this child, and that is a truth that Satan is aware of. We are in an era where adoption agencies favor placing children with homosexual couples rather than Christian couples. Let that sink in. The Bible cautioned us that Christ would be displeased upon his return due to the prevalence of wickedness, and now you see why. The influence of the Christian church on popular culture has diminished significantly, and this is an undeniable fact, brothers and sisters. There was a time when the church held sway in society, but that era has since passed. Okay, the Christian church has been compromised by Satan, and this is a fact that cannot be ignored. Many individuals overlook the reality that Christian churches now feature gay choirs that are permitted to perform on Sundays.
Our next group of guests are hitting all the right notes to light up your life with joy and inspiration.
You have no idea what you were in for. We just heard the warm-up, if you will. Lavender Light Gospel Choir is a mixed chorus founded in 1985 and was the only lesbian and gay gospel choir in the world. Today, they're keeping alive the Black gospel music tradition in an environment supportive to the LGBTQ community. Amazing. Eric, you're the artistic director.
Yes, I am.
Talk to us a little bit about the choir.
Yeah, so Lavender Light, we've been around since 1985. We are intergenerational, we are interracial, we are lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, all of those things, but we stand together continuing the legacy that is Black gospel music right here in New York City. And I'm just so honored and privileged to be here and share our passions and our joy with you.
I don't know if I've ever met anyone who loves what they do as much as
It's not worked for him.
Yeah.
That has not worked.
That's fun.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter and the 28th verse. Okay, we're going to read verse 28 and 29. The title of today's broadcast. Living in lawlessness. Living in lawlessness, brothers and sisters. Okay. We're at Matthew 5, verse 28 and 29. Let's take a gander.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
Read that again, brothers and sisters, please.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
The Bible indicates that gazing at a woman with lust is tantamount to committing fornication. Okay, the Bible indicates that there are grave repercussions for perceiving women in a sexual light. Okay, Christ warns us about the serious ramifications for viewing women in a sexual context. See that? Upon careful examination of these passages, we observe that it clarifies that adultery originates as a mere thought. Think about that. It is important to note that Christ teaches us that merely desiring women sexually can lead a man to hell. See that? Christ articulated that he would rather be blind than to gaze upon a naked woman with the eyes he employs for reading the Bible. The passage highlights the harmful effects of viewing pornography and participating in masturbation. That's what these verses are about. And I'm going to put it out there. All sexual sadists began their journey by watching pornography. And this is an undeniable fact, brothers and sisters. Okay, all individuals involved in sexual crimes have regularly consumed pornography. And this is a fact that cannot be contested. Okay, the Bible cautions us about the perilous nature of unchecked lust in our relationship with him. Due to unchecked lust in our society, sexual perversions have increased, brothers and sisters. We are currently in an era where it is not uncommon for men to attempt to abduct young girls while walking home from school.
Vacaville residents angry and in shock.
No neighborhood is safe. This can happen any place.
Video from Robbie Eseed's next door neighbor's security camera shows the frightening experience of a little girl walking home alone. The young girl comes into the left-hand side of your screen on the sidewalk. Vacaville police say that a man with short dreadlocks in his hair, driving a four-door, dark-colored Pontiac, had been following her. When she walks up behind this large truck, she hides for a moment. He stops his car, but doesn't see her come out the other side. He eventually drives on, and the girl checks to see if the coast is clear. But moments later, he returns. It looks like she has a cell phone in her hand now. As he pulls forward, she positions herself near the front of the truck. But the driver reverses his car. She again quickly moves to the back end of the truck. He eventually gives up and quickly drives away. The girl is then seen running away in the opposite direction.
You see that, it just makes you scared, you know.
Sean Crum grew up in this neighborhood and lives 2 doors away.
I've been walking home from school my whole entire life, and I always felt safe in this neighborhood.
Vacaville police want parents to talk to their kids, remind them to look out for cars that may be following them, avoid strangers sitting in a vehicle, and never get into a car with a stranger.
If you see something, run. Have them run home, have them call you as soon as possible. Call the police, let them come and help, and get this person off the street.
In Vacaville, Walter McCullough, KCRA 3 News.
Due to the widespread acceptance of pornography, the prevalence of sexual perversion is on the rise, brothers and sisters. Many people didn't know. The word fornication in the Greek is porneia. It's porn. Go look at the word fornication in the Greek. Open up your Strong's Concordance. The Greek word is porneia. Porn is the Greek word for fornication. And that's a fact that cannot be disputed. And guess what? They knew that. Okay, the Jewish Satanists that created the pornography industry, because that's who did. Okay, only a Satanist would say, you know what, let me have some people have sex on camera for other people to watch. Let me come up with that idea and call it porn. Brothers and sisters, the word fornication in the Greek, go to the word fornication in the Bible, in the Greek, and pull up what the Strong's Concordance says, and you'll see it says pornea. Okay, it is an undeniable fact that every pedophile consumes pornography. Okay, God cautioned us. He cautioned us regarding the societal repercussions of unrestrained lust, and we are currently experiencing those consequences. Okay, sexual perversion has escalated. It has escalated to such an extent that pedophiles now have the audacity to attempt to abduct young children in broad daylight.
It's just shocking because if I didn't do nothing, if I didn't run or anything, he probably would have got out the car and probably grabbed me.
This sixth grader, who doesn't want to be identified, says she was walking home from Freedom Middle School Thursday afternoon when she noticed a man in a black car.
He's like old looking and he has a camera in his hand and he's smiling at me and telling, like with his finger telling me to come here.
The girl says she immediately felt uncomfortable, so she started running.
I run and he's still following me. And when he's still following me, I'm like about over there and then I'm running, crying and screaming, help me, so someone could like come and stuff.
Part of it was caught on surveillance video from the apartment complex the girl lives in. In the video, you see her running to the gate and a black car pulling in right behind her.
I could sense my daughter was scared by the way she was running. I've never seen her run like that before.
The girl's mom says she truly believes the man in the car wanted to take her daughter.
It's a parent's worst nightmare to see something like that and to know that there's people out there watching children like that to try to take them or do whatever they want to do with them.
The family says they filed a police report and now just want to warn parents in the area.
Talk to your kids. Let them know stuff like this can happen. You may not think it can or will, but it does happen.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says it is investigating this incident.
We are currently experiencing the most corrupt period in the history of the world, brothers and sisters. Okay, this is the most corrupt time in the annals of civilization, which should serve as a wake-up call, brothers and sisters. Okay, awaken to the reality of the world around you. Okay, this is a manifestation of a world devoid of God. Let's be clear. Okay, when society fails to recognize the significance of a relationship with the Most High God, this is the outcome. Okay, for those contemplating whether to seek a relationship with the Most High God, let this video provide clarity on the matter. Okay, society is lacking in spirituality, and these are the repercussions, brothers and sisters. Okay. If we existed in an era where the majority of people sought a relationship with the Most High God, society would undoubtedly be in a better state. And that's a fact that cannot be contested. Okay. The title of today's broadcast, Living in Lawlessness. We want to say, Kwam Yasharala, sin no more.